Hello, hello, can you hear me? Miguel.
Yes. Hello, Michael. Uh,
Miguel, can you hear me? I can't hear you for some reason.
yes.
Let's change the microphone here. Can you hear me?
Yes. I hear you.
Oh, hello. I hear you now. Okay, everything should be good. How,
Mhm.
how are you?
I'm fine. And you?
Oh, I'm okay. A little bit of less light in the room because the bulbs broke, but I'm here. I'm here, of course. So
Mm-hmm.
today's topic is about when streaming services, or what is this notification? When streaming services
Mm-hmm.
will come to Ukraine, or if they're already in Ukraine. Now, well, let's talk about some services that are already in Ukraine right now. What are some services that are in Ukraine that you know of? Do you know, Miguel, that maybe you know some services that are operating in Ukraine from America maybe?
It's like streaming service, like radio, something like that.
Not just that. Like for instance, PayPal even, you know? PayPal you can't even get in Ukraine. Am I correct?
PayPal cannot. We cannot use PayPal in Ukraine.
Why?
Uh, it's not used because we can send money, but we cannot uh, how to say it,
Receive.
receive money. Yes, it's a
That's
it's a half of work.
It doesn't make sense. So why do you think you can receive but you can't you can't send? No, no,
You
you can send but you can't receive. Sorry, I got it mixed.
mhm. uh, it's I don't know why it's like rules of PayPal for Ukraine.
Well, what do you think? I think maybe because of the banks, they can't. Because to use PayPal, you need to be able. They can take money from your banking account. You know what
Uh-huh.
I mean? Like so maybe they don't have authorization to take money from people's account, like private bank or whatever like that.
Uh-huh.
Maybe that's one of the reasons. But I heard in Russia, I heard in Russia that people can use PayPal and receive and send money. Do you know if this is true?
I think PayPal don't work in Ukraine because we have a very hard. It's like laws in Ukraine. Laws in this sphere. It's like e-commerce, payments, maybe e-money. It's not clear in our laws.
It's not clean.
Clear,
It's not
clear,
clean.
clear.
It's not clean. Dirty money.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in that video game Scarface. Dirty money. You can take dirty money and make it clean. I don't know if you ever played the video game Scarface, but in those type of mafia set movies, you always have dirty money. They call it dirty money. So maybe that's the issue there. But what about even Amazon? I don't even see Amazon in Ukraine. Do they operate here?
Amazon. I'm not here about this because I hear about the people. I hear people buy something in Amazon, but it's. I think it's working. We can say it's working in Ukraine.
See, the thing is about eBay, Amazon, all those companies, right? I know these are not streaming companies, Vitaly. That we're kind of changing a little bit topics here, but it's like if you want something, you get it. You want something from eBay, you get it. In Ukraine, you got Slando.ua, you know?
Slender, yes, it's okay. It's famous.
It's like Kijiji, but nobody ever heard of Kijiji. People like Shotza. What is this? What's Kijiji? It's like a Slando too, or a Vizio too. Is that another one? A Vizio?
It's like advertisement, private advertisement board. Yes.
Yeah, a Vizio too. I think Russia has a Vizio too. Vitaly, Do you know this
Yeah,
Avizio, Avisto?
I
Maybe I
think
don't know how to say it correctly.
I've heard something about it, but I didn't use this service.
So in Russia, is it common to use something like slando.ua? I mean, some sort of if you want to sell something, you put it on the internet and somebody goes to buy it.
Okay. I know my friends use some kind of service. It's named Alibay or something like that.
Alibaba or something like
You
that,
know,
or no?
Alibaba, yeah, yeah.
That's a wholesale company though to buy from China.
Yes, from China, especially from China.
Well, why is it from China? Because they make every damn thing in the world besides nuclear. Actually, they probably could probably buy nuclear weapons from Alibaba too. So you never know. You never know. But yeah, everything comes from China. That's the problem.
Why it's a problem?
Because
Why is a big
everything
problem?
comes from that country.
Oh, hmm yes, it's a
I,
statistic.
it's the statistics, and the last time I looked, I want something that doesn't break within 1 month. So, I don't know. I never saw Alibaba for Japan, but of course it would be too much money, probably. So that's another issue. But probably because those work, it's because there's a lot of factories. Like I heard from like Alibaba, you need to order in bulk, big quantity, because they do like custom orders to start the factory up to do what you want to do, what you want done. So if you want this, you can get it. If you want that, okay, you can get it. If you want an iPhone replica, you can get that. It's ridiculous, I think. I don't know what to say. But streaming services. Oh, what about eBay? Is eBay popular in Russia or no?
Yes, I know it's popular, but I don't know people who use beyond my mm, friends, my people that I know. There is nobody. Hey, Michael.
Yeah, just sorry, my rabbit. So you don't know anyone who uses it.
Yes,
Okay, so
yes.
but then
Maybe not in my town. Maybe it's in Moscow, in big cities. It's expensive for us. It's expensive. We
to sell?
can not to sell, to buy,
To buy.
to buy.
Usually, if I see someone selling from Russia, it's some sort of Soviet camera. Made it says made in the USSR. So
I have one of these cameras. It's uh, in my closet. It lays, and I just take it and watch it. I don't know what to do with it, and I
is it a is it
put
a
it back.
is it a camcorder or what is it? A film camera?
No, camera. You mean camera? Photo
It's,
camera.
yeah, it's just a camera.
Camera. Yes.
I always wanted to try one of those Soviet quality. You're getting something with alligator skin or crocodile skin probably on.
Eh, I've never seen this. You mean it's like how to say in Russian? Чехол, может быть. It's
uh,
like a shell
Like
for
a
the
shell
camera.
case.
For the camera. Case
Yeah,
case
yeah,
for the
yeah.
camera.
Well, my barber had a pair of binoculars, like the sea, and the skin, like to hold it, was made out of crocodile skin, but it says made in the USSR, and it was heavy duty, babushka quality, that's for sure, So it worked really well. What other services are available? Gosh, you guys don't have eBay? Well, not really popular. Don't have like a Kijiji. Don't really use an Amazon. What about some like Netflix? Netflix isn't available anywhere, is it there? Do you know what everyone knows what Netflix is?
I don't know. I don't use it.
Miguel, have you heard of Netflix before?
I heard about this. It's like a music streaming service. Yes.
Movies, TV
No,
shows.
movies, and you can rent a film
Stream.
or
Stream.
stream. I think it's about you buy access to film maybe for 1 day, something like that.
Not for 1 day. It's usually you get access. You pay a monthly fee for $10 a month. So that's 100 grivna, a little bit more like that. So I don't know what it would be in rubles, but I'm sure Vitaly, you could do the math there. But about 100 grivna a month, and you get access to all the Americano movies and videos, and TV shows. Maybe like I heard in the American Netflix, there's 9,000 movies listed.
I use torrents.
Rent.
We need no this service.
We need this service. We use torrents in Russia. Do you know what torrents means?
I understand. You're Poland. I understand what torrents are. Of course I know. But I heard since a lot of Ukrainian people use Contact, right, to stream movies. But I heard now since Contact was owned by the Russian government that they don't allow many American movies, that they get rid of it. Is this true, or what's going on now? I hear something's going on with Contact and people watching Americano films, like copyright infringement. Have you heard this too, or no?
No.
No?
No, I don't quite understand what you mean by this.
Well, they're being taken off the server because of copyright infringement on Contact. Someone puts up the movie, and 4 hours later, it's gone. Miguel, have you heard about this too, or am I imagining things?
About what?
About the movies being put on Contact, and then 4 hours later they're removed.
Yes, I read about this. It's like if you are owner of these films, owner is like a company.
Hollywood, yes.
You can write a report. It's like it's my film, and in 24 hours, Contact delete this movies from his network.
Okay, so basically, maybe Contact in the future won't be good for streaming. And Vitaly, do you ever think Russians will pay for watching movies, or unless this will never happen? Unless there's lots of... No.
Russian will never pay for watching movie. Because I know Russians.
Why not?
Why not? Because we...
You like to steal.
It's like a tradition, you know. It's like a tradition. As I can remember, we never pay for our
our software, yeah.
For software, for yes, I go to movie.
Cinema?
I watch new films. I can afford it, but I can't afford myself to buy some kinds of software and watch stream video. I think it's luxury.
Luxury. Okay, well, what about cable TV? I mean, everyone in Ukraine, for instance, I'm with Trioland, right? You know, Miguel, you know Trioland. It's popular in Ukraine here. There's so many cable providers, like Voila and all that. In Russia, you got your own too, but you know, most people, they have cable TV in Russia. Vitaly, is that correct?
Yes, I have. I have in my home, in my house, we have cable TV as analog cable and digital cable television, so you can choose whatever you want.
You know, in Canada, they wanted to get rid of analog cable because those frequencies are used. They take a lot of frequencies, so they want to get rid of analog TV. So basically now analog TV doesn't work in Canada. It's all digital. Is Russia going the same way, or you think?
Yes, it's going the same way, but in country they still use. It's an old fashioned, but they still use it.
Yeah, you guys on your TV, you have that SCART cable. I look on the TV. It's an interesting looking cable. It's called SCART. SCART?
I
SCAT?
know.
SCART?
I know it's some kind of jack, yes?
Fat, a thick cable like that.
Thick
like a
cable,
real big.
yes. No, we don't. In my TV, it's so simple cable. It's
A simple BNC connector. Okay, like that. Okay.
BNC
BNC connector. Yeah.
Yes.
So what about streaming? I mean, in Canada on our TV, right? I don't want to wait for something. You know, if I want to watch it, I want to see Yahochu Bachite. I want to see. I want to watch it, right? I want to see it. I click on the button. I get to see it. Bingo. Here's my popcorn. Here's my Coca-Cola. Nothing like do you have this type of service in Russia where you want to watch this? Okay, I get to watch it like that. Not on a torrent. All right, a little bit of a difference, but streaming television. Does something like this exist in Russia yet, or no?
Yes, it exists, but you have to pay for this, and it's only in our town we don't have this. We don't have this. I know there is.
Okay, so it's
Moscow,
there.
In what?
It's there. It's there though. It's there.
It's there. So it's no difficulties for me to wait until I download it from the torrent.
But what are Russians like? I know Russians. You guys make a lot of Russian movies, right? It's always about a girl from the village, and she goes to the big city to marry some rich guy. You know, like that. So.
It's just a stereotype.
I didn't watch Metro yet, so I haven't watched many Russian movies. But I didn't really like Taras Bulba, but that's another story of its own. But
That's another story. Yes.
That's another story of its own. But you know, like I don't know, do many people they wait to watch Russian movies? Is it really popular to watch, or are they watching Americano movies?
As to me, I prefer watch Russian movies, but I have to say there are not so many good real for pleasure. There are many dull movies, and as you know, we call it Chernucha, black movies. So
okay, yeah,
not so
very
attractive.
dark, sinister, yeah.
The dark stories, especially it was in 1990 years of last century, you know.
It's the Soviet style, like that. It's sad. It's sad, honestly. I understand.
Not Soviet. It's after Soviet.
Oh, okay,
When
but
too much criminal, too much violence. It was in.
I think they try to copy a little bit of America there when they do that. You know, like I don't know. Something tells me I see something. It's a little bit of a copy there. You know, so maybe you got to take a step back, because in a lot of American movies now, it's hard to find a good American movie. They keep doing the same thing and the same thing. There's nothing to see. You know, sometimes that's the big problem I see. So, do you think in the future some streaming service will become popular, or do you think maybe it's only popular in America and Canada because we're a bunch of lazy people? I'm thinking in Canada we're very lazy. We just like to sit on the couch and watch movies all day and eat our popcorn. Is this the problem? Maybe we're too lazy?
Well, I don't think so. We are lazy too. I think it's future that's in future we will have these services either.
How much TV do you watch though? I know some people in Canada they watch more TV than they do sleep in a day. So that's.
No, I don't watch. I watch only news in the evening, and not every day. I don't have so much time for this.
You know what people should have time for? To come to our speaking lesson on here. They should be on. We should have more people today. You have to get as many people as possible. This is more interesting. This is live. This is virtual. This is interesting because every time it's different and you can participate. So that's why maybe the internet has made us more busy. You know, because 20 years ago people didn't have the internet in Russia, did they?
Yes, that's right.
And Miguel, what do you think about streaming services? Do you think in Ukraine is this something going to be popular, like a Netflix, or do you think Ukrainians don't care? What do you think?
I think maybe in the future 5 year, we have a free movie service and music, and Netflix. It's not for Ukraine and Russian people now, but in the future, it means 10 or years, maybe it will be popular. If it will be more cheaper, maybe for Russian, special for Russian.
I think maybe the biggest problem is that in America and Canada, we like to spend our money more. And Russians and Ukrainians and Eastern Europe, they're more conscious of how they spend their money. That's what I'm thinking. Vitaly, do you agree with me?
Maybe you're right, but I have to say it depends on where you live. I know as to our center, there's big cities, they spend their money more easy than we are that who lives in country. You know?
Yeah, so the difference between rich and poor.
Yes.
But in Russia and in Ukraine, it's either, it's the same topic. It's either you're rich or you're poor. There's nothing in the middle. Yeah, like I guess now we kind of got it like a middle class, but it's very difficult to get in there. Rather, like in Canada, if you have a good job, you're in the middle class. You know what I mean? In Eastern Europe, you can work hard and still not be in the middle class.
And what do you call what's the income has to be to be in the middle class, as it's in your opinion?
Over 32,000. Oh, middle class would probably be over $30,000 a year in Canada.
$30,000.
30. Today it said 000. I don't know how to say 30,000, but 30. Today it said 30,000. Right, $30,000.
It's a great amount.
It's a big amount, we can say. Sure. Under 20,000, that's poverty. Poverty. We know we understand this word poverty, right?
Yes, I know. That's when no money, no woman.
No money, no honey.
No money, no. No what?
No money, no honey.
Honey? Honey. It's from beer. Honey from
the Mishka. Well, I mean, the Mishka likes honey.
Beer makes honey, yeah?
Bees make honey, and bears steal honey. Yeah.
Michael, can you write this word?
Of course I can. Honey.
Bee. Beeline,
Beeline. Beeline. Yeah, the phone. Is that a phone company or something like that? Yeah?
Yes, it's phone, and it's a streaming TV company. So the internet I use now in my home, it's a Beeline.
Is it? Do they have like IPTV? Is that getting popular too? IPTV?
IPTV, yes.
How does that work? You just connect it to your router, and then the router to your TV, or how does that work?
It works. So they use such kind of device. It's I don't know how to say in English. So it split TV from stream TV from internet. And
I think from your router to your cable box to a box,
yes,
right?
Yes. It's you have a router, and then after this you have how to say right? It's some kind of device that uses for translation signals for your TV.
We call it not multiplexing, but demodulating. The signal is modulated, right, and has to be demodulated. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so this is something that's is popular. So you know what? This is new technology in Canada, the IPTV. Because why didn't we have IPTV before? Why didn't it never exist? I know I have a reason. Well, what do you think? It's new. Why? Any idea?
You mean why it's new?
It's new, sure. It's not 5 years old. It's actually not. It's not that old at all.
Yes, we only have it 2 or 3 years here in country.
2 or 3 years. I'm
Yes.
thinking it's because they never had enough bandwidth before. I mean, in Canada, we never had much bandwidth like we do now. I mean, what does your internet signal have? How much bandwidth do you have?
You mean speed?
Yeah, bandwidth is speed. It's frequency, right?
Frequency.
Megabits per second.
Megabits. 16 megabits.
6D or 16?
16. It's
16.
It's a lower speed that I can have. It's a cheap one. The cheap one. I use the lowest is the cheapest.
Okay, so that's the cheapest
Enough.
you can get. Valerie, you're from Moscow, correct?
Yes, I am. Hello.
Yeah. Hi. Well, sorry. Welcome to the club here. So what's the slowest speed you can get in Moscow for internet now? What is it?
I'm not aware.
What do you have?
I have about 9 megabytes per second, or
Megabytes or megabits? There's a
mega.
difference.
I don't know. I'm not a specialist. Maybe
Uh-huh.
megabits. 9.
Megabits.
Yeah, 9.
For Moscow, it's too slow.
I think there's something wrong. For Moscow.
For me, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't have any troubles with slow speed. Everything is downloaded quite fast, so I'm not making such a purpose of getting a very high speed. For me, it's just pointless. I'm quite satisfied with the speed I have.
Some people have that 100 megabit line, and I'm asking you, what are they doing?
I don't see the point. For me,
Yeah.
I don't see the point.
Well, I'm asking them, what kind of illegal activity are you doing here? What are you hacking into today? With a 500, 1 gigabit line, that's crazy. You got some sort of data center there? That's not good at all. But what we're talking about streaming services. Now, they never existed, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, because I think we never had the bandwidth. In Canada, we just got fiber optics in neighborhoods. Fiber optics. Fiber optics were not in our neighborhood because our areas weren't developed. We had telephone lines, cable, regular cable. So what about in Moscow there, Valerie? What do you see about streaming TV? Have you heard about this before?
Yes, I have. Although I've never had streaming TV for myself. And actually, I don't watch TV at all.
You don't watch TV? Oh my God! No National Geographic channel for you?
No way. I just watch movies. So I download some movies through Zona program, and that's kind of a torrent. So I just watch movies, and that's all. I'm pretty satisfied with it.
Now, you know what? Okay. We're just trying to figure out the difference between, us in North America and people in Eastern Europe, how they do things differently, right? So, as you can see, people there, they still, I think in Russia, the method there is torrent. Do you think streaming services will ever be popular in there, like Netflix? Have you heard about Netflix before, Valerie?
No, I haven't.
So Netflix is like a service, right? Invented in America, of course, and it's you pay $10 a month and you get access to like 10,000 movies. That's what Americans like now, right? Do you think you can see some sort of service being popular in the future that if you want to watch this, you just click this button and you got it like that? What do you think about that?
What's the point of paying for films if everybody in Russia has free access to any films, and it's free stuff? Nobody will pay for films if he has such an opportunity of using free stuff. There's no point.
Well, maybe in the future, the government there might just enforce copyright infringement. The Motion Picture Alliance Association they just might give them money so that they take down the people who host the content. Does that sound logical to you, or this is like I'm drunk on vodka now? I don't know.
That's quite hard to imagine. if it ever comes into reality. Well, but for some people, it's very important to watch new films,
Yes.
and they don't have enough patience for films to be off at the cinemas, and they want to watch them right now. Maybe but there aren't so many people in Russia, I guess. A lot of people prefer to wait for a bit until new films are off in the cinemas and they can appear in the internet free of charge.
Well, watching a movie is expensive. If I look at an American movie, it's about 60 hryvnia. In 3D, thank you very much. But a Russian movie is about 40 hryvnia. I think I'm watching the Russian movie, even though my Russian's not too good. I must learn one day. I'm going to watch the Russian movie because it's cheaper. Why not? It's cheaper, you know? But it's expensive.
Why it's cheaper?
Well, come on, Hollywood costs more money to... I think an average Russian movie costs maybe $6 million to make. I don't know if I'm wrong or anything like that. About $6 million.
No idea.
I don't. I have no idea too. What was the last blockbuster movie? Was it Metro? Or that's old. You know the movie Metro, right? Everyone knows that movie.
Yes, I watched it.
What did you think of this movie? Is this Netflix quality? Can we have this on Netflix or not good enough?
Yes, we can. It's worth it.
But with English subtitles.
Sure.
You know, it's like I said, watching for me when I watched a couple Russian movies, right, on the television, it was just different. I can't say it's like what I'm used to watching, but it's different. So maybe Russian movies would be good in America because they would offer a different perspective, like French movies too. Who watches French movies here? Anybody? Nobody?
Yes, I watched.
See? And it's different, right?
Mikhail watches it.
No, I like French movies. It's like different with Russian, I think.
I understand. So, Valerie, you're still there. Well, so you think even in 10 years from now, nobody will pay for any streaming. Nobody will pay for music. That will never exist.
So I'm not a prophet, but it depends on the government. If there are some strict measures on banning free stuff, movies free of charge, maybe then people will have to pay. So it depends on the government.
Yep. Because from what I'm understanding is on Contact, PK, they're taking movies down. And Contact is now, it's owned by I'm pretty sure it's owned by the Russian government now, right? So, you know, they start to remove these movies. So a lot of Ukrainian people here, they usually watch, they don't use torrents, they watch by Contact. But I'm thinking maybe to replenish the country. You know what replenish? Do you know what replenish means?
To renew?
Yeah, to renew, to replenish the country, is to invest in its own country. So that if someone watches their own Russian movie, to actually pay to watch it, so that money goes into the production company, so that company can use that money to make even a better movie. Or do we go like Hollywood, where they keep making new movies and they're still crap?
You think it's all crap?
Did you watch Ninja Turtles yet?
No, I didn't.
I did. And I have one word to say. Ужас. So even to Miguel, don't you think if people pay for movies, even in their own country, that it will help make new content, to make a better budget? Because to make a movie, to make anything, you need a budget, you need money. No money, no honey. Miguel?
I'm sorry, I don't follow you. Maybe you repeat the question.
In order to have good revenue fund, in order to have that, not that an initial investment, but we call it a return investment, right? You need to pay for something. So when you go to the store, you have to buy
Mhm.
You have to go buy. If you don't, you got that security guard there who will chase you. You
Mhm.
know, so you can't steal from a store. But if everyone downloads a movie and watches it and doesn't pay, how does the production company make money on it to make more movies or to make new TV shows? I think people should pay for this streaming stuff. It helps it grow. But people think I talk cuckoo or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't make sense for you.
Michael, it's different. We have business models. It's place maybe place advertisement before the video or in the video, and to make money, as they can make a lot of money with the company who plays this advertisement, not from the people who see it. It's like on TV.
Yeah, but I don't think advertisement would make enough money. I think you're limited on advertising. Look how much a Hollywood movie costs. Look how much the average movie costs to make. I'm looking at, let's actually, you know what? Let's do a little bit of research here. And for instance, I watched Ninja Turtles, right? That movie. Everyone knows Ninja Turtles. I don't
Yeah.
know what it was in Russian, but you know, we get the picture. So it wasn't a good movie, but a lot of people wanted to see it because it was really popular. So if we look at the film here, how much did it cost to make? We can look at this, right? It costed one second here. It costed, let's look at this, $125 million. Дуже
Somebody,
багато грошей, right?
somebody have to pay for this. Yeah, you're right. Maybe we are here, how to say, indulged person.
Who?
Indulged.
Indulge, okay.
Indulged. Maybe we are indulged here in Russia, so we have access to free from charge. Maybe in future it would be changed.
It could be changed. Well, you got free education there too. I mean, to get into university, you really don't have to pay, do you?
No, the situation is changing. And I guess, I'm not sure, but I guess only 30% of students are budget students and they don't have to pay, and 70% have to pay.
Yeah.
Because
approximately.
Because I think everything still goes on the Soviet model where everything should be free. If you go on the metro, well, actually, that's for Babushka maybe to go on for free on the metro and stuff like that. But you know, like education should be free. To go to the stomologist, it should be free. Everything should be free. You know what I mean? Like that kind of.
Yeah, free stuff.
So, university is expensive for a lot of people. A lot of university students in Canada, they finish university, and they're broke. They don't have money. A lot of people here in Ukraine, they get their university for free. So they don't have that debt. We know what a debt is, correct? Debt?
Yeah, debt is when you owe some money to other people, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're in debt, you have to pay, you have to give money back to other people.
And how many people over there are in debt?
What do you mean?
How many people owe money to someone or something?
For what?
Anything. Education.
For education, you mean? A lot of people, I think. Many.
What's the I hear myself. Hey, sit back. You're gonna have to. Hello, Yeah, Miguel, thank you.
Michael, thank you.
So, if a lot of people owe money, you know what I mean? Like they owe money for university. I'm talking about in Canada. They owe a lot of money, maybe $6,000. Wait a minute, Valerie, you're living in Moscow there. How much does it cost to become a doctor or a lawyer? Do you know any of these statistics, like a high-paid professional? Is it free or do you have to pay?
I think I don't possess exact information of how much it can cost. No information, no knowledge of this.
What field are you in? What's your profession, if I may ask?
I'm a manager. I'm an analytical manager.
So you had you needed to get a degree, what, in finance, something maybe, or?
Yeah. I graduated from financial department, and it was a good time for me that I had an opportunity to get free education, so I didn't pay anything for my education.
Well, so, you said things are changing. I don't understand what you mean. How are things changing?
Things are changing. I mean that in the past, people used to have more opportunities to get free education. And now the situation is changing that more and more people have to pay for education. So, and people in Russia have to get used to that they have to pay for many things, for education, for visits, visiting a dentist, right? And other things. So, and coming back to movies, people pay for for going to the cinema, and I guess movie production companies have such a big source of income going from the cinemas because people like going to the cinemas and they spend quite much money on that.
Well, it shows here $301 million was made on that Ninja Turtles movie, so that's a very good profit. Yeah. Very good profit.
So I guess that I mean that movie production companies don't have to complain so much about losing a chance to get some money from internet users. Yeah.
Users. Yep.
Yeah. What's that noise? Users. So they have a big source of income going from the cinemas.
Then why is the Motion Picture Association of America bitching about, like they say in Eastern Europe, all you people, you download all the movies. Like, well, what is this about then? If they're making so much money, they say that we need to fire people in America because they're stealing our money. We have no jobs because of this. I think it's bullocks because look how much money the movies are making. They're making triple the amount in profit. That's very good profit. Make triple. I think it's greed.
Yeah, it is greed. I guess that cinemas provide film production companies with enough money, so they don't have to complain.
They don't have to complain. Well, there's a lot of complaint because like in Canada, if you get caught downloading a movie, you can be sent to prison.
Oh.
Yeah, very cruel.
This is democracy. This is real democracy. Stephen Harper, Canadian style, like there. So there's a good marketing word right there. So yeah, you can be sent to prison.
Michael, and how can you be caught for downloading movies? What's the process? How can they caught you?
How can you be caught?
Yeah.
It's the same way in CSI Miami. No, I'm just kidding. Right, like that. You basically the Motion Picture Alliance or blah 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 blah. Right? They can see in the torrent if it's not encoded or encrypted who is downloading what movie, part of it, the segment. And then they can request to the internet provider, like Bell Canada, or through Rogers, right? Rogers Cable, Rogers Internet, and they can request usually information pertaining to that IP address. Now, before, they need a subpoena from the court. Does everyone know what a subpoena is?
Subpoena? I don't know.
Oh boy, we get into law terms here. Do we have a lawyer in the house? I don't think so, but subpoena. Well, I'm not a lawyer, so I need to know how to spell it. Subpoena. I think I know how to spell it. Maybe I don't. Subpoena. Subpoena. Hold on, give me 1 second. Subpoena. I don't know if it's subpoena or subpoena. It's not like anyone took me to court yet, or I have ever been into jail. But it's subpoena. Maybe if I can spell it this way. I got it. Subpoena. Okay, I got it. Let me paste it here. Right here. So a subpoena, according it's basically, it's like a written note saying that, you know, you need to testify, or you need to do something legally. You know, like for instance, to give you the example on the getting your IP address, the police need to go to the court to get a written notice to send back to the internet provider to get your IP address. I mean, who it belongs to. Every IP address has identification, right?
Yes, yes, you're right.
So that's how they do it. And then
Okay.
you get basically a nice knock on the door, not from the KGB, not from the SUB, but from the police department, and they can take you to jail.
Okay. And torrents are blocking.
Illegal.
They are illegal in Canada.
Yes, they are, and America too.
Illegal, yeah?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
So how would you feel if there was a case where man gets 15 years in prison for downloading a movie? How would you feel? I mean, what do you think of that? I don't know. I think it's a movie.
It's awful.
Valerie, what do you think of that? You hear someone got 15 years in prison for downloading a movie.
Yeah, it's a harsh punishment. Well, but the government, in this case, the government should make a strict warning to let everybody know of this kind of punishment. Then, if you are warned, then you're armed. Yes, then
you're warned, right? What a warning.
If you are warned, yes, you are armed with weapons. So it's kind of a Russian proverb. And then of course it would be silly for people to make such crime, you know, to download a film for which they can be sent to prison for 15 years. Then,
you
of
know,
course,
there was a stupid case, but you know, I'm gonna say, because it was on the news. This is how I know it, but it's very, very stupid. But you know, I have to talk about it because it's a good topic. But from what I understand, I can't say the name here, but someone this is in America. Someone downloaded some like X-rated it wasn't a movie, like something on the internet, right? I think it was talking about, right? And the owner of this website or company complained, saying, we're losing business here. We must make our money, you know? So what happened was they got the IP address of the people who were downloading this through torrents, and they went to the courts to sue them for like $21,000, and they won. So that it doesn't make sense to me, you know. It's just the things. I think the problem in some of our Western societies is that there's too much like copyright. What do you think? Intellectual property.
Yes. I think so. You're right. Too much.
If your logo looks similar to another logo that's copyrighted, you can be taken to court and sued.
Okay.
So I don't know in Russia how they validate intellectual property. How does intellectual property work in Russia? How does that work? Valerie, maybe you have any information about this, intellectual property?
Well, I guess formally intellectual property is protected in Russia, but I guess there are not so many cases, and maybe some companies neglect this and they just don't want to sue in order not to waste money, efforts. You know, that people don't go so crazy about some infringement of intellectual property like in the US or Canada. So Russian people take it easy.
Okay, and
Yeah.
maybe they take it. Maybe they're more lenient. We have a word.
Maybe, yeah.
Siva, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Sorry, the only reason I'm not talking to you is because there's a lot of background noise. So it's always hard to talk to you because again, there's always background noise. But I'll try this time. So, do you know anything about intellectual property? About, you know, if you own something, right? You created some sort of brand, some sort of logo. Siva.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. I'm listen to you.
So if you own something, how does that stand up? Do people, how do you say this? Do people take initiative? Do they care? Is copyright something respected, or people they don't care? They'll do what they want to do. What do you think?
For example, in Azerbaijan, they don't care of the property of somebody or about copyright. We use the copyright and we don't have any, I don't know, debts or stories for this.
Mm-hmm.
It must be in the blood of the nation, of the humans, of the nation, of this country, for understanding what you're doing. That it's something wrong. You're making something wrong, but we make it always, and we don't understand that. We understand, but we doesn't want to know that we're doing something wrong, for example. I don't know.
Well, I like how you. Sorry, go ahead.
It's echo.
Maybe it's just me. Oh.
Yes.
I like how you say it's in the blood. It's in the blood of the nation. I think that's true, because in Ukraine they're trying to teach children, you must pay to watch a movie. Stealing is wrong. You have to pay for everything. It works. We have a name for that. Does anybody know? What is this process I'm talking about? Anyone know what we call this? Nobody knows, nobody knows, nobody knows? No? We call it indoctrination. Maybe someone can explain what indoctrination is. Anyone know what indoctrination means?
Michael.
Could you explain?
Okay, no one knows? Okay, I'll explain. It's basically when you I hear myself, but when you brainwash, when you tell someone how they should act, what they should do, how they should be programmed, how they should live their life every day, how to be that perfect citizen.
Mm-hmm.
That is indoctrination. So if I said, yep, go ahead.
Can it be indoctrination or indoctrination or indoctrination?
Indoctrination.
Indoctrination.
It's
I
like
believe I pronounced it correctly. Indoctrination. Indoctrination. So if
Okay,
I say if you're being indoctrinated, it means people are telling you certain things that you should do and should say.
it's like a programming.
Programming, exactly. You are being brainwashed, or you're watching The Outer Limits, you know, something like that maybe. So it's not good, because you know, like in America, in North America, we never believed in paying for, you know, watching movies, music like that. Our attitude was like, if we can do it and not get caught, we'll do it. You know what I mean? Like, if we can do it without getting caught, we'll do it. Now it's like, if you keep telling people it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, you should not do this, it reprograms the mind to think that what they're doing is wrong. At least I think. But I don't think that will stop people from stealing, because if you go into like a magazine, a mall, people still steal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But people don't steal as often.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Why? What's stopping them?
Punishment.
Punishment. And
being sent to prison.
and beep 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 beep. You know, like, come on, you got that stupid metal detector thing, right?
Oh.
Well, it doesn't. You don't think about that, no?
No.
What do you do when you don't have you go through the metal detector and you brought something in from before, and the security guard asks you, where did you buy this from? What is your bill? But you don't have the bill. I don't know what you do in that situation. I want to be prepared. You know.
I've never been in such situation.
I tell them, you don't sell this here, and the guy says, prove it. Oh God, I don't know. This for me, this is Indiana Jones. I love it. By the way, I'm waiting for the next Indiana Jones movie. So that is all the time we have for today. And you know what? It's kind of interesting about talking about streaming. We love this in Canada. It's great. But I guess in Eastern Europe, people have better things to do than to watch TV all day. And maybe it's for the better of the health, right? To replenish and to exercise. I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional. All right. Does anyone have any questions for me? Going once, going twice. Ask now or forever hold your peace, but you can't see my rabbit because my rabbit is sleeping.
Oh, it's a pity.
It's a pity, yes it is. Is there any questions for me?
No questions.
No questions?
So far.
So far, okay. So for any private lessons as well, please continue to look at my schedule. I do have people asking for me for private lessons because, well, it's September and I guess people are going back to school by the looks of it, even if they are an adult. So education does not stop. Again, look at my schedule and as well for my other lessons as well for the future. That is it for today. You can always see me next Thursday at 9 p.m. or 9 p.m. Kiev time and 10 p.m. Moscow time. 10 p.m. I gotta say Moscow time. Everyone, have a good evening.
You too.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.